Welcome back everyone to my Let's Play of the Final Fantasy Legend. Where we last left off, our party Linus, Vincent, P, and Honey Mouse had just encountered a village of outcasts outside of the walls of Venus' city there. These outcasts were exiled from Venus' city because they were found to be unattractive, whether it's because of just their physical appearance, or in the case of Leon, who looks to be like the leader of the outcasts because of a wound that they suffered. So Leon injured his leg and was banished outside the wall, which is really bad because the woman he loves, Flora, is still inside the city, and she's apparently being forced to marry somebody named Nils. So yeah, a lot going on in this world, but the main thing that our party is worried about right now is trying to find some of the magi. There are 17 magi in this world. Now, Venus said that, hey, there's no magi in this world, but we know there are because we have that Prism magi that Linus' father gave him back at the beginning of the adventure. So, inside the village of the outcasts, some of the residents there said that, hey, there's a sewer back here, and a lot of things are dumped down into it, and some of them are shiny and clean, so hey, it's a good lead as any to go looking for some of those magi. So while we're looking for magi, I guess we can also be looking to see if we'll eventually have to find out. Look to see if Venus is lying to our party deliberately, trying to hide the magi, or if she's just ignorant of the magi's existence. Maybe she's just all caught up in her whole beauty thing and, reviewing everything, and she doesn't have time to see if there's magic in her world, but we'll eventually find that out. But let's focus on one thing here, and that is going through this little dungeon here. So, inside this dungeon, there's going to be kind of two mini-bosses, but only one is required. And that mini-boss is going to be the Hermit Crab, which is actually the next form of crab that we want P to evolve into. So yeah, once we defeat that Hermit Crab, we'll eat the Hermit Crab's meat, and we'll be able to eat another meat then to transform P from the monster he turns into after the crab, after eating the crab's meat, into the Hermit Crab itself. So yeah, P is long overdue for a transformation. He's been that base crab since the second world, since Ashura's world, so we'll definitely see a big jump in power from P being a regular crab to the Hermit Crab. Like I said, the Hermit Crab is an enemy that's going to be a common enemy 2 worlds from now. But right now it's going to serve as a mini-boss. Luckily, this mini-boss will constantly respawn. It's not like the mini-bosses in the Guardians world where, you just fought them once and they were done. So we won't have to do like we did with the Commando mini-boss, where we had a, save scum, which means where we saved our game, fought. If we didn't get the item we wanted to drop from it, we reset and fought again. So, no, the Hermit Crab will constantly respawn, which means that, we can farm meat that we need off of it, so no need to reset. So, and that's good because the Hermit Crab is a much stronger monster. We'll be able to, there's a better chance to regain some stats. So Vincent just gained some stats right there, so that's nice. Hopefully we can keep those stat gains up. So I mentioned in an earlier video that this is kind of a world where if you're not really knowing how the system works and you're not really been gaining stats, this can be a world that can kind of, be the first major real roadblock. So I know the first time I ever played through this world, this game, I actually got stuck in this world. So, yep. So I eventually got past it, of course, but it took a real long time, and yep, back when I was a young lad. So here's our Hermit Crab monster there. We can see its stats there. The W pincher is like the pincher it has right now, that P has right now. The Paranail can paralyze enemies, and the shell is basically functioning like a shield, so we'll see all the abilities that P will pick up once he becomes this Hermit Crab, so. As you can see, all we have to do to have the Hermit Crab reset is just leave the room and then head back in, so. Yeah, this is a mandatory mini-boss because we had to defeat it the first time to get the key that it drops. So the key is going to be used in this store later on to unlock a few doors. So, and behind those doors we'll get the second mini-boss, but which is also a monster that'll be two worlds away. So. Man, this Hermit Crab does not want to drop any of its meat, so. I have no idea what the drop rate is on the meat, so. But, well, thought I was going to get it there, but nope, we got a stat gain. Hey, stat gains are always welcome too, so. Oh, on to a fight there. New enemy, they're the guard. They can drop gold sealed, gold swords, and a cure potion. So, obviously, the gold sword would be the best because that'd be the best thing to sell for money. Another strength weapon. We got one of them earlier in the volcano in Apollo's world. Oh, we got the worst drop, the cure potion. Those things don't basically sell for nothing, and they're pretty useless for us because. Vincent has cure, and he's not going to lose that cure because remember, in this game, unlike the first game, you can actually control which abilities your mutant gains or loses. He or she will lose the ability that's at the bottom of the stack. So because we have cure, the second from the top, we're not going to lose that. So now we're going to just farm an enemy here. So. There's a few enemies that have the greatest spawn rate in this room, so we're gonna farm them up here. So here's a new one, the Robo Z. So take it out. It can be pretty deadly with its rocket and flame attack. Look. Oh, it's putting its gold shields to good use there. It blocked off one attack there, but just because you use a shield, that isn't guaranteed to defend. So the more expensive the shield, the more likely it has to block attacks. So you can see P there's pretty powerful. It's an eye monster, a gazer monster. Gazer monsters tend to be another good family. I know I mentioned in the last episode that fairies tend to be basically the top tier type monsters that people like. Gazers can also be pretty good because they have a very powerful beam attack. Beam hits an entire group of enemies, and it can penetrate defenses. So like if you have like a guard who uses a shield, or another monster that uses a shield type weapon or a shield type ability, the beam will cut right through it. So, and that'll be very important because later on there'll be a few bosses who can use shield and block direct melee attacks. So, beam's a good way to bypass that. So, let's just finish taking out these guys here. Might see the power of the beam depending on if it goes fast enough, if P goes fast enough. Yeah, pretty much P's beam can take out an entire group. Linus got some mana there. He keeps gaining those mana stats, he'll be able to take out an entire group. So his mana is of course artificially boosted by the mana that he has, the mana magi that he has equipped. I believe he has 4 magi mana equipped, which means that he's getting +8 when using the magic spells. His stat is like, because the first one gives a +5 bonus, and then the next 3 each give +1, so. We're gonna head into here. Mushrooms! Look. I don't know how these mushrooms punch you, but that's their main attack. So, I don't think mushrooms had fun. I know that mushrooms are often invited to people's parties because they're fun guys. Cricket, cricket, cricket. It's my terrible dad jokes. I got one of my kids on my lap right now here. Good old Arthur. I'm just giving him his medicine and his little therapy. He'll be getting a rat wheelchair soon, so I ordered a rat wheelchair from the Maine Rat Rescue, and yeah, all the proceeds that they get from making them will help fund the rescue. So now here's the second, here's the first room that we use the key to unlock, and this is where we can get our second mini boss. So we're gonna make a save here. And it's the treasure box was a monster. We don't have to fight this one because, you know, we could just skip this treasure chest, but I wanted to fight it just to show it off. So these enemies can be pretty tough, especially if you get a large group. We got lucky with the Phantom. There's only one of him. They're a little bit tougher than the Mephisto. As you can see, the Mephisto has Nail, Sleep, and Fire. It's going to use Fire, which is the most deadly attack, last. So, yeah, Nail's just a normal single target attack. Sleep obviously puts your characters asleep, but Fire, because those monsters are very tough, they can deal a lot of damage. So with the Phantom, toward its abilities, it has I believe it has Ice and it has the Touch spell. So yeah, it has more damaging abilities. So lucky for us, we only had one Phantom there, and Honey Mouse was able to quickly take it out with her laser sword. So we get to see what the Gaze does. Gaze can paralyze a group of enemies. It's a good ability to use when we don't want to kill off enemies with P, because we're trying to still have Vincent and Linus get some attacks in, so they can potentially raise their stats. So mainly working on their agility right now. If it's a small group, we'll work on agility with our martial arts. If it's a large group, then we can throw in the spells to help cut through the enemies quicker. Here's our second room, and it's going to be another room. There's going to be 4 treasure chests. In both of these rooms, the chest in the lower right is always the one that's going to be the monster in the box. So let's save our game here, because we're going to fight more Mephistos and Phantoms. So, and this time we get more Phantoms than Mephistos, so. But, I guess we can use P's beam ability to help cut through. So, yup. Luckily it was nice and only used the sleep spell on us, so. That's pretty good. And let's finish this guy off. Yup. Oops. There we go. Yes, he has Ice. Its main attack is Ice. So, where the Mephisto's main attack was the Nail. So, both had Sleep there, but ooh, ouch! Yeah, look how deadly that Ice is. It took out P. So, oh, that's not good. But luckily, we don't need that monster's meat. So. But the meat that we do need is going to be in this sewer here, in this dungeon. So we're going to have to farm that meat eventually. So, like I said, we want to keep P a crab as much as possible. So, like I said, usually that takes 2 or 3 steps. So. White belts, so the good thing about a lot of these enemies is the white belt type enemies. We ran into gangs, now we run into white belts, eventually we'll run into black belts and stuff. A lot of them tend to only use martial arts, and we already know that martial arts basically, they can do more damage as you use more uses of them. So the enemy starts with obviously a full usage and then never run out of usages. So yeah, a lot of these guys, the karate type men, they tend to be pretty easy. They don't do much damage because it's just the way that martial arts are coded as weapons. So in that case, yeah, for the most part, you want to focus on the other monsters that accompany those martial artists. Now, there's going to be a few exceptions, you know, but I'll point them out but when we get to them, but they won't be for a while, so. Let's take out this big worm here. Zoink! Big pea worm. What if it's a parasite worm? You probably pick up a lot of parasites if you're wandering around in the sewer. Ugh. Yuck, yuck, yuck. Who knows what kind of diseases you can pick up down there, so. Ugh. Pea worm, that's not the meat that we want. Nope. Got a dragon, a baby D. So. An evolved form of the dragon that P started out on way back at the beginning of the game. So, referenced the beginning of the game a lot this episode. The Prism magi that Dad, Linus's dad gave him, and now the starting class of P. So, unfortunately, even though we've been away from our hometown for so long, we decided to go back there. Mr. S is an ever-vigilant guardian. He's still guarding that cave, and we can never go back to see our family until after this adventure is over. Yep, Mr. S is still guarding it. So, let's head on over here. This treasure chest can be kind of tricky. You might miss it. It's kind of hidden well, half concealed under the water, and it's tucked up against the edge there, so it can be easy to miss. Luckily, Honey Mouse can't miss with her bazooka, because those thunders are very annoying, because as their name implies, they cast thunder. So, devastating spell that can really put a hurting on things. So here we finally got the thunder meat. We ate the thunder's meat, and P transformed from the gazer into the Hermit Crab. And by becoming the Hermit Crab, he's ready to be moved up into the party lineup. So, yeah, he now has more hit points than the Linus and Vincent. So, we'll move him up. So, and we'll give Vincent the giant helmet. That'll give him a little bit more defense than the giant gloves did. And we can just give the giant gloves to Honey Mouse, because remember, when it comes to robot defenses, it doesn't matter what piece of material it is, whether it's the breastplate, the helmet, or the gauntlets. All that matters is the equipment, the name. So a giant headgear will give the same amount of defense to a robot as the giant breastplate, as the giant gauntlets, where with humans and mutants, the breastplate gloves the most, then the helmet, and then the gauntlets. So we'll just trade down the gauntlets to Honey Mouse. She'll put better use to them than anybody else, because Linus already has the giant gauntlets. So and I just made a quick check to see which was better, the gold or the Hermes shoes. So we'll just keep the Hermes shoes on for defense. I could put I think the gold and the Hermes were given the same amount of defense, so I could theoretically pull off the Hermes shoes, give them to Linus and have him, you know, get a little bit of better defense. But the problem is, the Hermes shoes increases your agility, and we don't want to artificially increase our character's stats, because then that makes it harder for them to gain the stats, because the game's looking and saying, oh, well, your agility's 10 points higher, you know, you don't need to gain a stat. You're well over leveled, so yeah, we finally get out of the sewer, and hey, we end up here, back in Venus' city, through this locked door. Let's go confront Venus. Let her know that, hey, we found 6 magi in the sewer, which means there's still 11 unaccounted magi. Magi in the sewer? Ha! Can't be real. She's either playing coy, or, you know, like I said, she is ignorant of the magi, so maybe we should just pull them out and show them to her. Be like, no, look, these are real. Now we gotta talk with Nils and Flora again. It's gonna be another sequence trigger. I must get married by Nils by order of Venus. Oh no, watch out! It's shaking, it's heavy! And we were told there used to be relics of the ancient gods up here. And for some reason, this earthquake causes a volcano to rise. You really do miss Leon, don't you? Why don't you go see him? We cannot act against Venus in this world. Besides, it's so scary outside the walls. So yeah, even if she wants to, she can't visit Leon. Well, I'm getting married to Flora. Sorry about Neon, but it's bad luck. Thanks to our great walls, we protect from the dirty things outside. So one of these guys is new some dialogue. A volcano appeared at the ruins of the ancient gods. Well, just like the relics of the ancient gods in the first wall, where there was some magi, maybe there's some magi. Remember, we're missing 11 magi yet in this wall, so maybe those 11 magi might be in that volcano. So, as we're going to head off on our next episode. Take care, thanks for following along, have a good day. Bye!